it's windy weather or stormy weather. When the wind blows, we're all together. All right. It's not a dream. It's not a hallucination. It's not a professional production. Welcome once again to the Gaming Galleon. Okay, before we get started, where we at here? 3:25, okay? 3:25. Starting a little late today, but that doesn't matter. We're going to stay on for the next 60 minutes for adventure and maybe a couple laughs. I'm Captain Raz. I really appreciate you coming back and pulling on some of the lines here and trimming some of the sails and maybe even scrubbing a deck or two with me. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We've got some interesting stuff going on today. We're going to be talking about ninjas for the most part. I'm going to be talking to you about the closest I ever came to being a ninja. We're also going to be playing a really fun game called Ninja Gaiden Shadow. Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the original Game Boy. That's right, original Game Boy. So what that means is this is actually going to be the first black and white game that we ever play. Because, you know, the first Game Boy... Oh, I had one around, but I don't have it now. I have the SP, though. Hold on. Here's an SP, Game Boy SP. And for those of you who don't have a Game Boy, this is probably the best Game Boy to get. Now, this one's pretty beat up. Raz doesn't like to pay a lot of doubloon for anything, so I'm happy to get one that's a little on the used side. It's got a little character to it. But the reason you want to get one of these, because there's a lot of Game Boys out there, is a number of reasons. For one, this is a Game Boy Advance, and every Game Boy Advance also plays Game Boy Color games and original Game Boy games, so it's backward compatible. So you're actually being able to play 3 different libraries here. The other reason that it's really cool is it's backlit. What that means is you can turn it on and you can actually see without having to, you know, have a big light in front of you. Now, in the original Game Boy days, they didn't light up like that. You could see the graphics, but only if you were in a well-lit area. Not the case here. The third and most important reason is, and this one's a little tricky, there's actually 2 different versions of these Game Boy Advance SPs. And you want to try the last one that they made before they started moving to the Nintendo DS. And the reason for that is these later models had an even better screen, a very good backlit screen, very comparable to what you would see on the DS or the 3DS, but they weren't every Game Boy SP. Now you may ask yourself, well, Captain Raz, I mean, how do I know that? I mean, there's so many out there. Well, there is one little trick, and I want to share it with you today. On the back is a little model number, okay? Now, I believe the ones that don't have the bad backlit screen have model number AGS001. I'm not sure that that's right, but what's important is what I'm about to show you. And it's this number here. All the way up in the upper left-hand corner, the very top there. You can't read it, but that's where you're going to want to look. Is right in that, all the way up at the top where all those little letters are. You're going to see model number AGS101. Okay? That's the way you know. Turn these over if you're looking at them and see if it says 010. If it says AGS 010, you're in good shape. That's the Game Boy you want to get, okay? There's no better way to play a Game Boy on the go, a Game Boy game on the go than one of these, okay? So keep that in mind. And the nice thing about it is not a lot of people know this, and a lot of merchants don't know that. So you're usually going to pay around the same price as one that's not so great, okay? All right, hold on a second. I'm getting a little message up deck. I just want to make sure we're okay. And it's completely irrelevant. That's what I get. I'm going to put this away. I'm sorry. It's our time, isn't it? It's our time. Okay. Sorry. So keep that in mind, okay? Just a little tip. So let's talk about ninjas a second, because we are playing Ninja Gaiden Shadow, and usually I don't get too much into the game, but your first Ninja Gaiden's a pretty big franchise even today. But all the way back in the Nintendo days, this was the first one. That's Ninja Gaiden. And when you hear Ninja Gaiden and you're someone around my age, this is what you think generally. Okay, this was a great game for the Nintendo. It was very hard. That's not to say it wasn't fun, but it was very difficult. So you had a lot of practice that had to go. And I've actually not finished this one. I got all the way to the last level, and I've never beaten it. There were a couple others on the NES. There's a trilogy on the NES. But this one is the one that most people think of. Now, around my neighborhood, we had Ninja Gaiden, but we also knew about another ninja game. And this was really the favorite around town. Now, back in the day, it really didn't turn a lot of heads. Ninja Gaiden was a real brand. You know, it was like Levi. It was a real big brand in the NES. Everyone wanted Ninja Gaiden. However, Shadow of the Ninja, not a lot of people cared about. This was one of those games that you would usually find in a bargain bin for around $15. And so you would think it's not too good. But here's one thing to look at. This is made by Natsume. And Natsume is one of my personal favorite companies during the Nintendo and the SNES days. I'm not sure what they're doing today. I'm pretty sure they're still around, though. I think they may be making like Harvest Moon games, Rune Factory. I may be wrong about that. I think that's right, though. But anyway, they've kind of gone away from the action games, which is weird because these games are so good. Why Shadow of the Ninja so good? Why not just get Ninja Gaiden, Riz? Well, here's the biggest reason. This guy's two-player. And I mean, again, we've talked about it. There's no better way to play a video game than playing with a friend. This game allowed you to do that. So why bring up Shadow of the Ninja? We're playing Ninja Gaiden today, Raz. Well, here's the reason. The one for the Game Boy was actually designed by Natsume, and I don't know how it was released in Japan. I don't think it was released in Japan as Ninja Gaiden Shadow, but I think when they brought it over here, they rebranded it and released it as Ninja Gaiden Shadow. And the company that made Ninja Gaiden, Tecmo, you see down there at the bottom, go Tecmo Bowl. I believe they bought the rights to this Game Boy Ninja game, rebranded it, renamed the character Ryu, who's the title character we're seeing here, and all of a sudden, you have this perfect blend of, story-driven fun and really good gameplay. Now, the Game Boy one's not two-player, of course. I mean, there were two-player Game Boy games, but really not exactly a good party situation there, hooking up two Game Boys. But it's a really good game, and we're going to get to it soon. But before we do, I want to tell you about when I was a kid, and one of the greatest games that we used to play as children, when we weren't playing the greatest games like Castlevania and Ninja Gaiden and Super Mario Bros. 3 and yada and yada and yada. We would play this game called Kick the Can. And I think that everyone out there's probably heard of Kick the Can, but you haven't necessarily played it. I think that activity's been kind of lost through the years, for whatever reason, people don't go out as much as they used to. When we were kids, and another reason is kids aren't necessarily allowed to go out at a time when you're supposed to play kick the can. And in my neighborhood, we played at night. So you had all these kids running around playing this weird game. I'm going to get a little bit into what it is and why it was such an exciting experience. And I have a little bit of an assistant to help me out to show you what I'm talking about. I was lucky enough to be gifted from a couple of loyal crew members out there, Anubis and Eve, two people dear to me. This, a dry erase board. And I basically was thinking about getting one of these because sometimes I go on and maybe if I draw a little bit of a picture, this would help. And that's what I've done here. Okay? Now that's not a thong, okay? That's not the backside of some fat guy, all right? That's not my posterior, I promise. What this is this is a road, okay? This is a T intersection. And it was perfect. That's where we played. And right about here is where the can was, okay? And then he had a house here. Oh boy. Had a house there. Had a house there, and friends of ours lived in those homes. So we were able to, gant about here, and we lived in a pretty wooded area. So there were woods and lots of trees and foliage around. What a great artist I am, right? Okay, so basically here's your playing field for Kick the Can, okay? And there was one guy, and he was it. And then there were another, 6 or 7 of us who were the hiders, okay? And basically the way this game plays is everyone starts here by the can, and the person who is it starts to count. I think we counted till about 100, all right? And once he closed his eyes and started counting, all of the hiders would disperse around this area, okay? And it was, the way the game worked was, when the person was it stopped counting, they started to traverse the area and look around for hiders. And if you happen to spot a hider, all you have to do is call their name, say, "There, I see you, Raz." And if we're down here, if we're over by this house here, if I'm like hiding behind this corner, and he comes around and finds me, then it's a mad dash. It's a mad dash back to the can, okay? And whoever can manage to reach the can first, if it's me, if I'm the hider, and I kick the can, then I'm safe. And the counting restarts. If he gets there first and kicks the can, then I find myself in jail, okay? And that's the way the it person works. He has to jail everyone he can. And if a hider manages to kick the can before the it person spots him, then everyone who's in jail becomes free and the game restarts. The way to win the game is the last person who manages to evade the person who's it. If everyone else is in jail and there's only one guy left out there, he wins the game. I don't know that there was ever a way for the guy who was it to win. I think that was kind of part of the problem. The way to pick it was pretty random. It was like, rock, paper, scissors, or it was pretty much just rock, paper, scissors, I think. There's probably other methods that are escaping me at the moment. I don't know. Draw straws, but I don't think any of us had straws. I don't think we got into it. But this was a lot of fun. I mean, think about it. It's nighttime. You're sneaking around, and there's, leaves and trees. And then there's one, terrifying aggressor out there who only has to spot you in order to get you out of the game. So you had to be really stealthy. You had to be able to hide and you had to be able to wait it out. And sometimes you had to work as a team. The hiders would, kind of watch each other, and one would take one for the team and be jailed, so that another one could maybe come around and get into an advantageous position to wait for the it person to walk away so that he can run up and kick the can right behind him like a backstabber. Okay, so I tell you, talk about the closest that a 10-year-old kid can get to being a ninja. It was a lot of fun, and I really miss it. And I feel like today it's harder for this kind of fun to happen. Especially because it took place at night. I feel like a lot of people were living in a different world than when I got to play this game, and it's kind of a shame. If you can manage to get it going, though, it's a lot of fun, and I would suggest it. And hey, all you need is some friends and a can. So that's Kick the Can, the closest I ever got to being a ninja. And again, I want to thank Anubis and Eve for giving me this board, because I think it really helped with the story. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes into the show, which is great, because I think it's time to enter into Ninja Gaiden Shadow. Once again, this is it made by Natsume? Is it made by Tecmo? I'll leave that to you, and you leave the ninja-ing to me. So let's set the navigator to the grimy streets of Manhattan at midnight. Gonna get a little audio here. That's some beautiful music for you. And here we are. Oh man, I love this game. Not in any way going in blind. Not in any way going in blind. In fact, Patty the Swallow was down in the captain's quarters here just before I got started, and he played this for about 2 minutes, and he said, "Oh, Captain, you're going to be in trouble here. This is a rough one." And I didn't even know what he was doing down here. I mean, frankly, the deck's not going to wash itself, but whatever. But he didn't make it very far. And I mean, I've been through this a little bit. Now let's take a look at that background, huh? You don't see her, but and again, I don't do cutscenes. I don't want to bore us with the cutscenes to open, but it is verified that this is Manhattan, because you can actually see the Statue of Liberty in the opening cutscene. And we're playing as Ryu here. This takes place, if you really care, about 3 years after the original Ninja Gaiden. I don't know where it falls in place with the other ones, but that's basically what they say. They just, kind of gloss it over. You're here to fight and take down an evil syndicate crime lord / wizard. I love... See, these old games, it didn't need to make sense. Throw in some buzzwords. Make it a wizard. Why not? I mean, we've already got a ninja running through the ruins of Manhattan, and exactly what happened. I mean, was Giuliani in office at this point? I mean, this place looks terrible. Hold on. You gotta take your time. Wait for your shots. That's half the situation with these older games, is you just gotta wait till they're in range. All right, now let's talk the technicals here. I've got my life meter, and then I've got those little squiggly lines there, and that's ninja magic, okay? And you can keep up to 5 ninja magic, and it's basically just this really cool fire wheel effect that works really well against anti-air enemies. Oh, now here's our boss. Perfect timing. We'll give him a little fire. Are you gonna attack? Yeah. Oh, I don't know that took. Yeah, you're not doing much, pal. I'm gonna get you. Oh, I feel like he's immune to this. All right, so I'm gonna save my fire wheels, but obviously I don't really need them. I think we're doing okay. What do you think he is? A cyborg or a robot? Calamari? I don't know. Oh, God. Hey, watch it. That's no problem. I mean, it's a scratch. It's a flesh wound. I really don't see this guy having a lot on me here. Come on, baby. Oh. Yeah! All right. Awesome. I absolutely love this game. There are good Game Boy games out there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Slice and dice 'em, baby. There's some great Game Boy games out there, but this one really sticks in my head as one of the best ones they ever made because it's just so easy to get into. Ugh. And you know, I've played this, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna try and beat it. It's not a long game. I don't know that we can do it in half an hour, and I always have a rough time with the last level, but I always make it to the last level. I really would be... Oh yeah, we got a grappling hook, and that's really Natsume right there, throwing that grappling hook in there. That shows you a lot of... that shows you some Shadow of the Ninja there, because Ryu never had a grappling hook in the Ninja Gaiden series, at least not for the NES ones. I don't know if that changed in the Xbox era, but I'm going to say probably not. That grappling hook is very, very Shadow of the Ninja. They had that. Another thing about this that is a dead giveaway to Shadow of the Ninja is this game has a really cool soundtrack that combines the two. I'm relatively sure you guys are hearing the music, but I know a couple times I've commented on the music in episodes and you haven't heard it, so fingers crossed. But you'll have to trust me if you don't. This has a great soundtrack, and it's a really cool mix between two of the really best ninja games on the NES, Ninja Gaiden and Shadow of the Ninja. It's really cool that they were able to pull that off. Alright. Always with the treadmills in these games. Oh god, I should have killed him. Oh! Woo! Okay. Oh, come on, dude. Another nice signature of this game. They didn't do this in and not every Game Boy game had actual backgrounds back there. You know, but we see a lot of detail that we're in some sort of factory here. And there's smoke going off. You know, lots of nice little touches. Fire wheel. And we got a free life. That's probably going to come in handy later down the line. But as you can see, this one isn't that hard to get into if you take your time. And this being a Game Boy game, it's extremely accessible because you got the old jump and attack combo in the way it controls. And the game really controls like a dream. Especially once you get it down. But I remember playing this for the first time, and granted, I've played my share of these 8-bit platformers, so maybe for me it's a little easier to get into. But oh yeah, kill him. I think the controls for this are really clean, and this must have been a real treat for someone back in the Game Boy days when Game Boy was the standard. This must have been a real treat to have because a lot of Game Boy games had to make sacrifices. And as much as I like Castlevania the Adventure, the first Castlevania Game Boy game made for this system, it was really slow, and they had to make some real concessions in the way of backgrounds, and especially gameplay, in order to fit it on this hardware. And it was also a lot about the screen. You know, we're playing this on the old Retron 5 Navigator here on the ship, but back in the day, your only choice was on the big old Game Boy. And I'll bring one of those in one day, but most people know what those look like. They're almost the size of a Bible, and about twice as heavy. But those screens, as great as it was to have a handheld game at the time, the screens really didn't do well in the resolution department. Your character would almost create trails as he moved. So as a result, some of these Game Boy games were made a lot slower than their NES counterparts. Castlevania the Adventure is a great example of that. I don't get that feeling with this game. No, see, I should use some fire wheels here. I don't have any more room, but whatever. I'll use it in this guy. Alright. These big dudes really bother me, because, you know, I'm a ninja. I want to tear through everything. And they come here with these, you know, weak sauce shields on me. It's bothersome. I wish, I mean, this is alright, but I kind of wish it was still outside. I really liked seeing the skyscrapers of Manhattan. You know, I guess we're still there. You know, I don't know, maybe this is like, one of FAO Schwartz's, warehouses, who knows. Alright, here we go. I smell boss, I bet. Are we boss area? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Because again, I have played this, so I'm kind of like, you know, muscle memorying it. I hope that doesn't bother you. I don't think it... I mean, it's just such a cool game on its own. You know, we got... Did you guys ever see Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Yeah, Blaster Master. It was like a big guy who had, like, Down syndrome, and then, like, you know, a midget who you would carry on his back with a backpack. These two remind me of him. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be really embarrassed if this guy beats me. If memory serves, though, in Thunderdome, the midget didn't get out and do, you know, backflips. One interesting thing about the midget, I'm not going to test it because I really want to succeed here, so I'm not going to hot dog. But the midget actually doesn't hurt you. Oh, see, well, there it is. That's what I get. He'll just grab onto you, and then, you know, Blaster here will show up and... Hey, we got him! Huzzah! Let's throw in some grappling hooks just for fun. Here, we'll do this for Azure. Azure's into this thing. Good friend of mine, Azure, he likes to do the duck down thing a lot. I'm looking at the camera right now like you can see me, and you can't. Alright, so where were we? We started, let's come back. Yeah, I think this is a good start. Let's come back to the booty segment. It's a good start, Ryu. You're doing great, my friend. It sounds like that's a classic Ninja Gaiden song that we'll be hearing soon. And I'm looking forward to that because it really plays well on the Game Boy. You'd be very surprised. Okay. So we're coming back to the ship, and this is always my favorite part of the show because it's kind of like Christmas every week here on the Galleon, because we have Yoshi. And while I do find this booty, usually I try my best, especially if it's a large lot, to just throw it here in the chest. And why don't you take a listen? Yeah, baby. That's not just a couple of cheeseburgers in there, alright? I already ate those. I left what's inside, though. So, what happened here? I walked into a store, and they're usually not so reasonable when it comes to DS games. But I don't know. I don't know if this is like the age of getting those Game Boy Advance games cheap or what, but I've noticed I've been finding a lot of handheld games, good handheld games, for cheap. This is an okay lot, but there's a lot going on here. And basically what happened was, there were a lot of them. A lot going on in there. And I think I was interested, I asked him how much he was going to do on him. And he said $1 each, okay? And I was interested in about half of them after looking at them. And let's look at them for now. And you tell me what you think, okay? Alright, so right off the bat, we have Finding Nemo for the Game Boy Advance. You know, there's never any pictures. I mean, not never any, but if you don't see a picture on these, it's hard to gauge if they're any good. So usually what I'll look at is the companies. And in this case, we see all the way at the bottom the logo for THQ. I don't even know why I'm showing you that. You can't see that. The company THQ, which is not so much. Especially in this era, they've made some good stuff. Saints Row's pretty good, whatever. Uh, but then there's Disney Interactive, and Disney Interactive made some pretty good Disney-based platformers during the 16-bit era. And we've said before that the Game Boy Advance is essentially, a handheld Super Nintendo. So if they're doing 16-bit here, who knows? This might be okay. I've never really been a big fan of Finding Nemo, but I will tell you on a side note, I saw Finding Nemo, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there's right at the beginning of the movie. This is the beginning, so it's not really spoiling anything. Well, maybe it is, but I'm sorry. The movie's been out at least 10 years, so, whatever. At the beginning of the movie, Nemo, who is a fish, and his father, I believe they witnessed their mother getting eaten. And I watched that, and I was watching it with a girl at the time, and I absolutely bawled my eyes out over this. I was like, but he's all alone now. She's like consoling me. It was terrible. And it's, and we're only 10 minutes into the stupid movie. Now, luckily, I didn't break it down again. But, yeah, I can't watch this movie anymore. All right? It's not going to happen. No more Finding Nemo for me. I've lost Nemo. Pinball Tycoon. I actually had... This guy's already in the hold already. It's just a, compilation of pinball games that are, to be honest, subpar. I've never even really heard of this this company, AIA. I don't even know what that is. That it's so hard to read these. Am I getting too old? That I'm like squinting to see what the companies are. I mean, plus they have these weird logos. And it's like, it's not a Game Boy game. Can I make it a little easier to read? Super Bubble Pop. Here's a game that I've passed on like 10 million times. It's probably some absolutely forgettable puzzle game that maybe wants to be Bubble Bobble, but I doubt it's twice as good. It's made by Jalico, big ups to Rival Turf. There we go. That's so unnecessary. I mean, that's so Raven. Tell you what, Raven. You guys might remember Raven. She had a very popular Disney show called That's So Raven. And these days, she's on The View. And, that's fine. I don't watch that show, nor do I really appreciate it. And I never really appreciated Raven's show, so I have nothing invested there. But, I'll see her sometimes passing by a television, and it's like, her hair is always like some ridiculous color and some ridiculous style, and it's like, just stop trying so hard. Please, Raven. All right? You already made it, okay? All right. That's enough of that. SpongeBob SquarePants. You can't see the tagline, but the tagline, another THQ game, great. SpongeBob SquarePants, The Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now, I don't know about this one, but believe it or not, Battle for Bikini Bottom for the GameCube, the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, is actually considered a really good 3D platformer. If you're into those, I know there's, especially if you have a PS2, there's 10 million of them. But if you like SpongeBob, you're already halfway there. If you like a decent platformer, you may be really surprised. Battle for Bikini Bottom for those systems, and then who knows what this one's like. I mean, maybe an isometric platformer? I don't know. Could be good, though. I have no idea. Most of these I really don't know much about. And that's what's exciting. Popping these in, looking at the art. I really get into finding games and then going on the internet to my usual haunts and looking for reviews or, message boards and learning about the game that way. I've discussed with the old Y&L fleet that I'm really not into spoilers with a game that I'm really invested in, like an RPG or something. But if it's something silly like, Battle for Bikini Bottom, I'm okay with looking up a little video or something like that. For me, it's an easier way than experiencing the game sometimes. because I really, you know, I only got so much time in the day. Do I really want to spend that time on, you know, Super Puzzle Bop, Super Bubble, Super Bubble Pop? Not really. All right. Wow. We better start blowing through these. What have we? We got like 25 minutes. Are you serious? Why does it? Where does the time go? We're still gotta go back to Ninja Gaiden. There's no way I'm gonna beat it. We got 25 minutes. Let's blow through these. All right. Sonic Advance. I believe that's exclusive to the system. I hear it's pretty good. Sonic the Hedgehog. Power Rangers SPD. I don't know. Some great Power. I'm pretty sure this one's really bad. Oh no, I might be thinking of Space Force. I don't know what this is. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. Okay. This is a weird one. You don't see a lot of these. A Pink Panther game. I never found the Pink Panther funny. In no way, shape, or form. I remember I used to watch this this local movie channel. Like, it was local, but they would play movies all the time. But sometimes they would get to, like, you know, the movie would end maybe like 10 minutes before the top of the hour, so they'd have to fill those 10 minutes before they'd start the next movie. So they'd throw on like an awful, one of those 60s, you know, Pink Panther cartoons. And I mean, I'm into vintage stuff. I'm certainly into vintage cartoons, but Pink Panther has never grabbed me. Never, ever. And this one's called Pink Panther Pinkadelic Pursuit. Whatever. This is kind of cool. Curious George. I'm curious about this one. You know, it's an old child's book. Man in the Yellow Hat. It's got a monkey. Monkey's always... Not. It's made by Namco. That's pretty cool. So, could be pretty quality. I don't know. Not a lot of Curious George games out there, so that's neat. What's this? Oh, okay. This might be alright. Cartoon Network Speedway. Obviously, this is probably a kart racer with a bunch of Cartoon Network characters. Here's my problem, though, is this was probably made about 10 years ago. And about 10 years ago, Adult Swim was really great. And in my opinion, the Cartoon Network shows were bad. Johnny Bravo, never got it. Ed, Edd, and Eddy, never got it. Now today, it's really weird because there's been a full reversal in that Adult Swim I'm really not that happy with anymore. They tend to play a lot of Seth MacFarlane stuff. I'm just not into that. I like obscure stuff, and they seem to be playing more lowest common denominator stuff on Adult Swim, whereas Cartoon Network throughout the day has some really brilliant programming. A lot of you may have seen Adventure Time. Great show if you haven't, check it out. And a regular show, off the top of my head. Uncle Grandpa's pretty good too. So it's weird that in 10 years, can't they just get it right? I mean, why can't the whole network be good? You know, whatever. I don't know why. I remember when I picked this up, I haven't looked at this in like a week. This game, for whatever reason, keeps sticking in my head. It was like, I don't remember a lot that I had in here, but when I was looking through these for the sale, I remembered this one for some reason. Herbie Fully Loaded. Herbie is a Volkswagen Beetle with a mind of its own, kind of like a nice carry, a race car. And this one, it was in the 60s. The 60s and 70s, they had like 3 or 4 Herbie movies. I grew up with them. This one's Herbie Fully Loaded, and I was tempted enough to look it up, and this one stars Lindsay Lohan. I don't know what she was smuggling in Herbie, that movie, but might be interesting. Spider-Man. Spider-Man by Activision. These tend to be pretty good on Game Boy Advance. They're usually 2D platformers. I played the DS one. It was pretty awesome. I can only assume this is 16-bit pixels, so sounds cool. BattleBots. I remember this one getting really bad reviews. I don't know if you guys know what BattleBots are, but around the turn of the century, the Comedy Channel had, Comedy Central had these people who would make remote-controlled robots, and they would fight each other, and then they'd have like commentating and stuff. It was great. This is probably bad. What's it called? BattleBots Beyond the BattleBots. All right, still going here. Sonic Advance 3. Okay. Another Sonic game, exclusive to the system, I believe. Madagascar Operation Penguin by Activision. Who cares? Not me. Oh boy, here's another one I've passed on 10 million times. Dogs by Ubisoft. Notice a lot of these aren't that great. I'll get into why I have them in a second. This is actually, I don't know if you know this, but Game Boy Advance actually used to have some cartridges that would just play videos or cartoons. So you could get some of these great carts. You ever see a great cart like this? It's not a video game. It's usually like a cartoon, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or a Cartoon Network show. This guy, whoever had these, was really into Sonic because he had Sonic X, one of the 10 million Sonic cartoons that have been out in the past, 20, 30 years. I don't know about this one, Spirit. It's probably the chickiest game in here, I'd have to say. Spirit, it's got a couple of horses just, running along. Spirit, Stallion... God, Stallion of the Cinnabon? I don't know. I think it's Cinnamar. I don't even know what that is, though. I got Casper. A lot of cartoon games here, and that's, they had a lot on the Game Boy Advance. Disney's The Wild. Maybe that takes place in Manhattan. Maybe Ryu's in this one. Spy Hunter. That's pretty cool. By Midway. I love Midway. Midway usually always makes pretty solid stuff. Arrow the Acrobat, which I believe this is just a port on the SNES of a game from the SNES. You're a bat in, I believe, a circus motif doing a 2D platformer stuff. I don't think it's that great. Probably the coolest game in the lot here, which is why I already have it. WarioWare. We're definitely going to play some WarioWare one day. I won't bore you with it now, because frankly, we don't have time. God, I can't believe we're so over. All right, almost done. Frogger's Adventures and Whatever. I love Frogger's Adventures and Whatever. Super Monkey Ball. I hear this is a great franchise. I've never gotten into it. I hear this one's really bad for the Game Boy Advance. Tetris Worlds. As if. I'm going to play Tetris. It'll be the original Tetris on the Game Boy. Minority Report. Wow, is that a movie I never wanted to see? Pac-Man Collection. This has probably got, a couple Pac-Mans and, I don't know, Dig Dug, whatever. Let's put the same crap on there. Oh, man! Oh, it's a mystery. Dude, I have no idea what's in this. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Man, we're so over! You gotta find out. Hold on. Ugh. Hold on. Ryu, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We gotta find out. Alright, what do we got? What is it? ATV... Hey, come back here. ATV something? Can I just get a title page here, please? ATV... Quad Power Son of... Racing. Alright, whatever. Now we know. We can sleep tonight. Couple more here. Oh, this is cool. I'm actually really excited to get this. Gremlins. Stripe versus Gizmo. Not a lot of Gremlin games out there. I don't know who makes this, but I bet you dimes donuts you play as Gizmo in a 16-bit pixelated 2D world. Not bad. Rampage Puzzle Attack? God, I'm so sick of Rampage. Hold on, my phone's going off. Stop. Ugh. The last thing we need is a phone call when we're so far behind here. Jeez. I don't even know why I put the volume on. It's the dumbest move ever. Yeah, Rampage Puzzle Attack. So Rampage is basically, monsters destroying buildings. It's cool for about 10 minutes. They made this into a puzzle game? I don't know. I don't know. Seriously? Shut up. Power off. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry about that. What a newbie mistake. It's the first time I put the volume on thinking, maybe I'll need it. I never needed it. And finally, Rugrats, I gotta go party. I just wanted to double check and make it sure it didn't say I gotta go potty. I think that's the play on words they're going for there. I gotta go party. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, pennies from heaven, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Isn't this fascinating? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31 games. After I looked through these, about half of them I was interested in because he was going to do $1 a game. But when I looked through them, I do the old bundle. I said, well, what would you do if I took them all? He said, I'll do 50 cents a game. So 50 cents a game, why not? It's 50 cents. 98% of these are not in the hold, probably for good reason. But, who knows? More C's to sail. Okay, let's get back to Ninja Gaiden. Very quickly. Extremely quickly. Let's do it. I feel like I need to be grafted with an octopus or something. So that, I can do all this at once. The harp and the game and all that. Okay, back to Manhattan. Let me get my controller here. Let's do it, Ryu. All right, baby. We gotta rush this, baby. We gotta rush this. Maybe we can make it. Maybe we can finish stage 4. There's only 5 stages. The 5th one usually gives me problems. All the other ones are I'm pretty good at, though. Oh. As I get hit. Flamethrowers, baby. Ninjas and flamethrowers. That's a good combination. That's like my peanut butter and chocolate right there. I don't know how to get around this. I think I have to get up there first. Are you going to let me get away with this? You are. Okay. Nice try. This is a classic Ninja Gaiden song right here. That I'm hoping, again, I'm hoping you can hear. I guess I could sing it. Would that help? I'll bust the harp out, Give you a little rendition. You notice how all my renditions all sound the same? There you go. There it is. Now, what do you guys think of the black and white? Is that bothering you? I mean, it's kind of stylized. I mean, you take a look at movies like Sin City. It was a great movie that was black and white, and that never bothered you. Does this bother you? Oh. Black and white doesn't bother me at all. I feel like it's an interesting change from the way we usually play games these days. Oh, man. I almost pulled that off. Ugh. He hit me with a time capsule. Going up. Oh, give me that chopper, baby. Zip me over to level 5. Anybody seen any health? Oh, why did I do this? You're being a jerk. Oh, Neil. Come on, Raz, get up there. There we go. I'm a little hurt, but again, I'm not that worried about it. Maybe I should be. I feel like there's going to be health right around the next corner here. Good use of the grappling hook in this. Oh, yeah. Come on. That wasn't health? It's not essential, except for a few times. Oh, no way. I can't believe I blew that jump. Unbelievable. Come on, give me some potion. Oh, jeez. I want to hit that guy with the wheel. All right, there we go. No, no margin for error here, so I don't want some jerk raining hellfire down on me. Oh no, go! Oh! Oh my god, full health. Well, almost full health. That's for the highlight reel. Oh, M. Bison. Oh, now this is interesting. I never noticed this before, but I'm looking at the background there, and there's the U.S. and you know what's highlit there. I guess that's Manhattan. Their current place of operations here. Where else are there? There are a couple places in California. You know, why is the Midwest never targeted? And I guess the other one's Washington, D.C., maybe? I wonder what the... I don't know a lot about California. What do you think? L.A. and San Diego? San Francisco, maybe? You're taking too long, dude. Like, I can do this all day, but I can't do this all day. Oh. Oh, man. I felt the heat of that one. Run out of bullets! Oh, that was close, dude. This is a pretty cool fight. Oh, jeez. You guys want to play ATV quad racing while I finish this up? Hold on, I'll throw you the Game Boy. Oh, he's got to be almost dead. One thing, if you think he's almost dead, don't assume he's almost dead. A lot of people do that to be like, he's got to be one more hit, and then they'll just rush him. Next thing you know, they lose all their health and he wins. So just be patient, even if you have to. Even if you have 9 more, you know, effing minutes left in the voyage. See you later, pal. We're gonna run it out. If if we have to do the last question, the mailbag segment really quick, I think we're gonna have to, because this is just way too much fun. We'll do one more level, one more boss, and then we'll wrap it up. I really think I could do it. I think I could get through this whole game in maybe an hour. Which is another reason why it's such a great Game Boy game, because here you've got a really cool adventure that's not going to be a big time investment. And obviously, this game doesn't have passwords. A lot of games of this era didn't. So as a result, they were designed for a short experience. And in this case, you know, I would definitely classify Ninja Gaiden Shadow as hands down quality over quantity. And when it comes to video games, that quantity, it resets itself every time. You know, it's always fun to come back to this guy and give it another run. And it's really fun to stick it into, like, a really big Game Boy. Because, you know, how often do you get to play on one of those? How often do you want to play on one of those? But a game like this is so easy and approachable. Oh, boy. I might have to do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, Neil. Come on, Reyes. You're killing me. You're not killing me, you're killing Ryu. Oh. Oh, come on. What? Whoa. What's up? This way? Into the hole! What do we got? Lots of food. And, alright, we're maxed out on Fire Wheel. That's good. Haven't lost a life yet. We're doing okay. If that's not like the jinx of the century, huh? What we got here? Oh, going up. Those don't hurt you, but they do paralyze you. And when the floor is rushing you like that, that can be just as much of a problem. No, 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 no! No time for jokes, guys. Wow, we made it. Boss time? Nice outfit, pal. It's nice to see that Hammer Pants are coming back. Oh, come on. It's not good that he got me right off the bat there. I actually needed that. I'm gonna have to play this right. Ah! Come on, Neil. I'm getting so flustered, I'm using my my non-nautical name. Oh. That name's not licensed. That name's not licensed for the sea. Oh, God. What do you think? Should I throw the kitchen sink at him? Oh, jeez. It's not good when he throws it off screen like that. I need to be able to gauge when to jump, you know? Come on, baby. I will pot shot you, sir. Oh, God, this isn't good. Ah, no. Sorry. Sorry. We're gonna ream him here, though. Totally gonna get him here. He doesn't stand a chance. With 6 hit points, I mean, I may have less fire wheel, but I don't really need the fire wheel. Not for him. Pretty cool selection of bosses, though. I mean, what have we seen? We saw Cyborg, we saw Blaster Master, M. Bison, and then I don't know what this guy would be. Looks like a clown from a Renaissance fair. I don't know. Do Renaissance fairs have clowns? Yeah, they do. And let me tell you, now that I think about it, you ever meet a clown at a Renaissance fair, just run. They're really annoying. They'll like take your hat, you know, they'll act like they don't have it, and then they'll expect you to, you know, tip them for it. It's really ridiculous. Stay away from the clowns at a Renaissance. Go to the Renaissance fair, but do not, you know, avoid the clowns. All right, that's my advice for the day. And you know, that may be clowns in general, but I wouldn't call them terrifying at a Renaissance fair. You know, they're not the killer clowns from outer space. They're more like the annoying clowns from, you know, I don't know, the Baroque period. Hey, we got him! Alright, that's it. We gotta get out of this. We gotta get out. We do need to see him get sliced, though, don't we? Hold on. Well, at least watch him get sliced. Come on, Ryu, wrap it up, man. Dude, you gotta wrap it up. Alright, cool. Oh, he is like a robot or something. Alright, nice job, Ryu. Thanks, dude. Very nice. Alright, so that was Ninja Gaiden Shadow. I hope you guys got a kick out of that. I really like that one. I've played it a couple times, only beat it once. But every time I do play it, I come really close, and I think if I pushed a little bit through, I could. And that's always a good sign of a game, is a short experience is not a problem if it's fun and you feel a little accomplished doing it. Okay, mailbag segment. We've got a little time here. Let's see what we got going on here. We've got Tournament Fighters for the Sega Genesis, the Master Chief Collection, some more pens for the dry erase board. Once again, thank you, Eve and Anubis. Some cups and a letter. Okay. Which is good, because we definitely need a letter. And I'll tell you what, usually I wait till the end of the show, but if you don't mind, I'm going to partake here. Especially if we're going to read a letter here. Alright, here we go. Dear Raz, what's the coolest find you have made in your travels? And this is from First Mate Bismuth. Thank you, Bismuth, for the question. A lot of cool finds. Off the top of my head, I remember there was this antique mall that I used to frequent in Connecticut when I used to sail off the East Coast a lot. And there was an antique mall is basically a mall that is like really old, okay, extremely old. Like the stores are made out of wood and not like aluminum siding. It was really weird. Most of the times they'd have like stuff like porcelain. Antique stores are usually not a very good place to find stuff, but I lived walking distance, so it was cool to go down there. Whatever. Uh, Whenever I wasn't off sailing to just check it out. So one day I walked in there, and this place is full like really elderly people selling all this old stuff like dishes and whatnot, and they one day I walked in there and there was like a disc holder, like a CD holder, back when CD-ROMs were really big for computers. So it was like a computer clamshell kind of case, and inside was like the hit list for like PlayStation 1 RPGs. I don't know who this guy was, but man, did he love Final Fantasy. So there was like Final Fantasy 7, all three discs, Final Fantasy 8, all three discs, Final Fantasy 9, all three discs, Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy Anthology, which had, I believe it was like Final Fantasy 4 and 5 or something like that, I think, on the same disc. Or maybe it was like 5 and 6. I don't remember. Two like SNES era, 16-bit era remastered versions of Final Fantasy. Alundra, which is a really good Zelda variant that's only on the PlayStation 1. It's translated by Working Designs, I believe. And like XCOM, which you may have heard of XCOM. Well, XCOM was actually on the PlayStation, the very first one, and PC. It's really highly regarded in the PC world. And honestly, the PlayStation 1 is a little clunky. I'm into turn-based RPGs usually, but that one didn't. I think it was the controller interface. It was a very early title, extremely early title. So they were still trying to work that stuff out. But at the time, XCOM was actually a pretty valuable game. Now it's dropped a little bit, but at the time it was up there. So it was kind of like the jewel in there. There was, I think, like the Tomb Raider trilogy was in there, whatever. But I actually didn't have any of those because they're so common. So to get them all at once was really cool. So yeah, it was. What else is in there? Chrono Cross was in there. So a lot of really heavy hitting Square RPGs, all sitting in this clamshell. And I think they sold the whole thing to me for like $20. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure we'd settled on 20, which was like, wow, awesome deal. Now where are the cases? So it's like I took them all home in this clamshell, and I asked him like, where did these come from? It's like, guy's cleaning out his attic, and he had these, and I'm like, I'll tell you what. If the guy was so meticulous about his discs that he put them in a separate case to access them all, this nice clamshell, and it's been sitting in a well-kept place for 10 plus years, maybe he's got the cases. So I went back there like a week later. And there they were, all of them. Black Label Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8 and 9, yada yada, Chrono Cross, Alundra, which has an absolutely stunning case. Working Design's always made really nice ones. But I think the ones that I liked the most was XCOM and the original Twisted Metal, because those were so early that they were long boxes. And obviously that adds a lot of value to the whole package. You want these for discs. But more than that, man, Twisted Metal's long box just looks so awesome. One day we're gonna play. We're gonna head out to Los Angeles, where the Twisted Metal tournaments take place every year, and we'll sail those waters definitely. Twisted Metal can't get enough. So yeah, I'd say. I mean, I've made some pretty cool finds, but I was really excited about that one. Finding really cool, good, not all valuable, but definitely good premium RPGs on the PlayStation 1 all together, and even some nice action games mixed in there was really cool. And I always think back to that day because it wasn't often that they got anything that cool, especially all at once. So thank you very much, Bismuth, for the question. If you have a question for the Gaming Galleon, you can leave it at gaminggalleon@gmail.com. You can tweet it to @YesterdayNightL, or once again, you can leave it anywhere on any of our productions, whether it be the France Revolution, Admiral Will's Tech Talk, Bismuth's current Dark Knight playthrough, or Patty Swallow's Killer Instinct analysis. Write it anywhere, write it on Twitch, write it on YouTube, and that question will get back to our fine tub of adventure. So thank you very much once again for joining me. Thank you very much for braving the mean, dirty streets of Manhattan and donning a little ninja gear for a trip back to, you know, a time when I grew up where ninjas were really the coolest thing around, not zombies. So thanks again for coming. We will sail next week, and until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to sail to Manhattan, and lo, nevermore shall we see ye again. I went down right pipe. So, what a clever way to end, huh? Keep your powder dry, mateys.